CNN, widow of Arthur Sackler, says her husband shouldn't be blamed for the opioid crisis. And then New York Times, opioid sales reps swarm New York at the height of the crisis. In her op-ed, Jillian Sackler wrote that it's understandable to seek justice and restitution for the terrible consequences of the opioid crisis, and that she is in full support of using settlement funds for creating opioid addiction treatment centers. This is in reference to the $270 million settlement announced last month in a lawsuit brought by Oklahoma's Attorney General accusing Purdue Pharma of aggressively marketing an addictive painkiller and fueling a drug epidemic that left thousands dead in the state. She also points out that Arthur has not been named in any of the lawsuits against Purdue Pharma and the Sackler family. And Purdue Pharma's sales force swept through New York State, visiting doctors and pharmacies nearly 500,000 times between 2006 and 2017 to promote OxyContin and other opioid painkillers. That is roughly 160 sales stops in each weekday during the height of the nation's addiction crisis. The company's flood the zone sales strategy was among new disclosures contained in the court papers filed on Tuesday by Attorney General Letitia James of New York, and is past part of the office's lawsuit against opioid manufacturers, distributors, and 8 members of the Sackler family who control Purdue. And?
I mean, it seems... I guess I'm not quite sure when he got blamed for it, since he died before all this.
I think she's just trying to save the name. Save the name. Yeah. Because now the name is going to go down real quick.
Well, that's true, because it's associated with a lot of funds. But
Science Daily, opioid epidemic may have cost U.S. governments $37.8 billion in tax revenue. The opioid epidemic may have cost U.S. state and federal governments up to $37.8 billion in lost tax revenue due to an opioid-related employment loss, according to Penn State researchers. Ooh. Additionally, the researchers found that Pennsylvania was one of the states with the most lost revenue, with approximately $638.2 million lost to income and sales tax. The study looked at data between 2000 and 2016. This is a cost that was maybe not thought about as explicitly before, and a cost that governments could potentially try to recoup, Siegel said. Instead of focusing on the cost of treating people with the opioid use disorder, you could think about it in terms of potential benefit to getting people healthy, back on their feet, and back in the workforce.
It's a very pragmatic way to look at it.
Yes.
The opioid crisis.
It did cost money, though.
Yeah.
Addicts cost money. It costs tax dollars. So.
But it's a much cheaper short-term solution to just ship them somewhere.
Yeah. Exactly.
But instead of trying to invest a little bit and actually help these people.
Yep. Capitalism. Science Daily. Want to quit smoking? Partner up. This study evaluated the supporting role married or cohabiting partners might have in quitting smoking. The study enrolled 222 current smokers who were at high risk of cardiovascular disease or who had suffered a heart attack. Partners were also recruited. 99 were current smokers, 45%, 40 ex-smokers, and 83 never smokers. Couples attended one of 4 preventative cardiology programs. At the start, they were asked about the current smoking status, history of smoking, and previous quit attempts. Smoking status was verified with a carbon monoxide breath test. During the 16-week program, couples were offered nicotine replacement therapy with patches and gum. In one program, participants could choose the prescription drug Veraclean instead. At the end of the program, 64% of patients and 75% of partners were abstinent, compared to none and 55% at the start, respectively. The odds of quitting smoking at 16 weeks were significantly higher, 5.83-fold, in couples who tried to quit together compared to patients who attempted it alone.
I mean, makes sense.
Yeah.
From, the people that I know that are smokers. Either both people have to be on board or it's really difficult because the temptation's too much.
Same with a lot of things. Diet, too.
Yeah.
Partners dieting together are usually going to be more successful because it's a common goal.
Well, people have come to you with relationship issues, actually.
Absolutely. I've had coworkers or ex-coworkers come to me and tell me, my partner doesn't want to diet with me. How did you get your partner on board? Or it's so great that you're on board with your partner and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
It's...
Also, if you need relationship advice, ask a healthy
healthytalkshow.com, please.
We want to start exploring that more.
Yes. In the chat room, we talking about weed. Hold on. New York Times. Rite Aid to stop selling e-cigarettes, citing surge in young users. Rite Aid said Thursday that it would remove the products from its more than 2,400 stores over the next 90 days. The chain will continue to sell regular tobacco products, a decision that some public health advocates criticized. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reported that the use of tobacco products, a category that includes e-cigarettes and vaping products, jumped 38% last year among high school students and 29% among middle school students. The vape continues on.
I mean, that seems good.
Yeah. Forbes. Rite Aid to sell CBD amid CEO search and pharmacy pressure. And Forbes again. Drugstore chains to turn to CBD sales amid prescription reimbursement pressures. News that Rite Aid will test the sale of CBD products in 2 states on the West Coast is the latest move by the big drugstore chains to tap an emerging market of the compound derived from cannabis. Rite Aid's pilot of CBD sales follows similar tests disclosed in just the last month by CVS Health and Walgreens Boots Alliance, which are all seeing intensifying reimbursement pressures for prescription drugs. Pharmacies are receiving less money for filling prescriptions as prices for generic drugs have dropped. Walgreens said it is offering CBD products in nearly 1,500 stores in Oregon, Colorado, New Mexico, Kentucky, Tennessee, Vermont, South Carolina, Illinois, and Indiana. CVS began selling CBD products in select stores in California, Colorado, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, and Maryland, Tennessee. These stores will be carrying topicals like creams, sprays, roll-ons, and lotions.
Man, everyone wants to get in on the CBD thing now.
It's funny that they're having issues with big pharma, essentially, and they're going to weed.
Yeah.
That's what I'm reading. That's a lot of people's issues. That's why they try marijuana, is because they're having issues with the prescription drugs. The costs are too high, the weird side effects. And now even Rite Aid and Walgreens are saying, hey, CBD might be okay.
I mean, give the people what they want, right?
Exactly. Let's go buy stuff from Rite Aid and Walgreens. Let's go buy CBD-infused products.
Heck,
they're not going to do
yes.
edibles or anything, though. Just
Dang.
topicals. Yep. Science Daily. Marijuana for morning sickness. It's not great for a baby's brain. Previous research has shown children born to mothers who use marijuana during pregnancy are more likely to develop behavioral problems as well as learning and memory impairments. This new research offers further confirmation on those findings and pinpoints how the drug alters the intricate connections in nerves in the hippocampus, the brain's center for learning and memory. The research team raised several groups of rats and exposed some of the females to a synthetic chemical that activates the same proteins as cannabis while they were pregnant. They used a dose equivalent to moderate to heavy marijuana use in humans. Examining the brains of the baby rats, they found the connections or synapses between the nerves and the hippocampus were reduced in those exposed to the synthetic cannabis. Upon further examination, the evidence the root of the problem was a reduction in neural cell adhesion molecules, a protein important for maintaining proper neural connection and synaptic strength. The findings suggest that it may be possible to counteract marijuana's effects by increasing the NCAM, though more research is needed to understand the mechanisms involved and determine whether the findings from the studies in animals would translate to human babies.
Just stay away from the marijuana.
Yeah, I want to be clear. Just because kids might be watching Healthy Talk Show, and I talk a lot about cannabis. Kids should not use cannabis.
Yeah.
I don't think they should.
Yeah, your brains are still developing.
Exactly. Developing is I have a lot of issues. Do not mess with the development of the brain, the body, nothing. So I think 18, well, legally, a lot of states, I think California is 21, so you can't even smoke if you're 18. So
and your brain is still developing when you're
yes.
in your early 20s. So wait till the legal age.
Yep.
Let those synapses form.
Yes. Seriously. I did not start consuming cannabis until I was 30. That was a year ago. Maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But that was the first time ever. I never did it before that. I'm serious.
He had to develop his brain.
Yes, I had to develop my brain.
Very important.
It's very important to develop the brain. The brain is very important. We
Seriously,
need to develop
though.
it. Kids, seriously.
Stay
away from that stuff. For adults, it's completely fine because, once you hit 21, it's all downhill anyways.
Don't say that.
Thank you so much for watching. For more content like this, please check out our podcast over at healthytalkshow.com/subscribe. We're live Mondays at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time over at healthytalkshow.com/live. Love and light.